Alright, we're going to talk about probability of independent events. So let's first talk about independent and dependent. Independent simply means one thing isn't affected by the other. So one event does not affect another. And a dependent means that the second event depends on the first. And let's not use depends because that's part of the word. So second event is influenced by the first. So let's do some examples of this. So examples of independent would be flip a coin, I'm messing up today, and roll a dice, or roll a number cube. So the coin has nothing to do with the number cube. So you can flip the coin, you can roll the number cube. They're two separate events. One doesn't affect the other. If I get a heads on the coin, it has nothing to do with the number I'm going to roll on the number cube. So that's independent. Dependent would be something like picking colors, marbles out of bag, and not replacing them. And the key there is without replacement. So anytime you don't replace something, it's a dependent event. Meaning if I have 10 marbles in the bag, I take one out, and then I go in and I take a second one out. Well, I don't have 10 marbles in the bag anymore because I took one out. So that changes my probability because I started with 10 in the bag, I took one out, now I only have 9 to choose from. So that's going to change your probabilities. Alright, so we have a bag that contains 4 red, 2 white, 3 yellow, and 1 pink marble. Marbles are drawn out with replacement. So the key here is with replacement. And like I said, we're just going to be doing independent. And independent means we replace it, meaning the second event isn't affected by the first. So first we figure out how many marbles we start with. So we got 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So we've got 10 marbles in the bag. So we're going to take one out, and then we're going to put it back in. So I want the probability of a red, then yellow. Alright, so the probability of red would be 4/10 times, anytime you see then, it's going to be times, and then yellow is going to be 3/10. Now, my suggestion is you reduce your fractions before you multiply. So 4/10, you can divide both of those by 2. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So now I can just simply multiply. 3 times 2 is 6. 5 times 10 is 50. I still need to reduce this, but I don't have to reduce this as much as I needed to if I didn't reduce before. So I can divide both those by 2 to get 3/25. Alright, so we'll do another one. So what's the probability of a pink, then white? So pink would be 1 out of 10. And then white would be 2 out of 10. So again, I can reduce 2 out of 10. Divide them both by 2, so 2 becomes 1, 10 becomes 5. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 10 times 5 is 50. And this can keep going, so we could do probability of a red, then pink, then white. So we're just going to have 3 now instead of 2. So red would be 4 out of 10, pink would be 1 out of 10, and white would be 2 out of 10. So again, reduce before you multiply. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times, 2 goes into 4 twice, 2 goes into 10 5 times. So now I can just multiply. 2 times 1 is 2, times 1 is 2. 5 times 10 is 50. 50 times 5 would be 250. Again, I can reduce this one more time, divide those both by 2, which would equal 1 over 125. Alright, one more example. So a coin is tossed and a number cube is rolled. So I want the probability of a heads and an even number. So probability of a heads, well, there's either heads or tails, so that would be 1/2. And then even number, there's 2, 4, and 6, so that's 3 out of 6. I can reduce that before I multiply, so 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice, and then just multiply. 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. So my probability there is 1/4. So next I want a probability of tails. Tails is 1/2. And then a number less than 6. So there's 5 numbers less than 6. Here I don't have anything to reduce, I just need to multiply. 1 times 5 is 5, 2 times 6 is 12. So my answer there is 5/12.